Well, first of all, I want you guys to know this is not a sponsored video. We actually have bought both of these. But everybody's always asking me about the barbecue and stuff on our channel, what I do, how I do it, what I use to do it. So I just thought it was fitting today since I have bought a new one. Yeah, the old girl finally give up. And best we can figure, it's somewhere between 11 and 12 years old. Now, these both are master builts. This is a 30-inch and this is a 40-inch. Now you can tell by the size of the box there's a pretty good difference, but get it out of the box, the actual housing of it, it's bigger, but this is a little deceiving. It's not quite that much different than them. Now, the thing that I do like about buying this one is not only do we have a good track record with that one, hoping the quality is still the same this many years later, but they work virtually the same. Both of them have the controls on top. This one has the same thing. They both have the glass doors in the front. They both have 4 racks in them. They are pretty much virtually the same other than the size. So I'm going to get this one out of the box and we'll do a little bit more and show you what the real difference in it is. So it's boxed pretty well, but I started undoing part of the top of it before I remembered I needed to turn the camera on. So like most anything, I'm going to be able to get it out of here, but should I need to return it, it will never happen. They'll have to take it without the box. But like I said, we had such good luck with the first one. I'm really hoping it's a repeat, and I don't need another one for about 10 more years. So looks like I can just split the box. It's going to make this a lot easier. Anytime you guys split a box, always make sure you can see what's behind it, because you can sure tear it up if you don't. I would say it was well packaged. That's pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can set it out of here. Comes with a good old instruction book. And I am going to keep that. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just going to lay it over here out of the way. Because I do actually keep the books so I can reference them later if I need to. As you can see, this one came with the control box taken off on the top. I'm going to bet it's inside in a box with some other stuff, but yeah. Again, the packaging on here is really good. It had a protector on the glass. And looks like this is a controller. Yeah, here's the controller for the top. Now, one of the things I did read, because I always read to see what the reviews are. That's a grease catcher goes on the back. Same one for this one. Well, one of the things I did read about this particular smoker, and it did not apply to the 30-inch, it only applied to the 40. But a couple of people, were complaining that right here where it screws on and this opening right here for the wire to come through, that it was getting moisture through here and it was actually getting up into the controls and ruining the controls. So I'm going to fix this when I put it on to make sure that there's no way for moisture to get through. And I think that was the only gripe I saw out of any review on this thing. So we'll fix that. That won't be a problem. So other than that, everybody was just raving about how great this thing works. And like I said, if it's like my last one, I would have to agree. Boy, they have really packaged this thing well. Got zip ties on it. I'm assuming that was to keep it from trying to get up against the glass and beat on the glass, I'm guessing. So I'm not going to bore you guys with all this unpacking stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and finish unpacking it. And then I'll bring you guys back when I'm done so you can see what it actually looks like. All right, so this box here is going to have all of your hardware in it. So yeah, got your regular like blister packs, got stuff in it. Little pieces. Let's see what all is in here. Okay, this is going to be part of the legs because these are the rollers. We'll set them out of the way. So this one works just like my last one, so nothing new. Just screws right onto the back of it. This is actually the pull handle, so you can pull it around. Makes it really nice too, by the way. This pull handle with the wheels on it, unless you got, unless you got really gravelly surface or something, even a rough road or driveway, makes it super easy to pull this thing around wherever you want to use it. Now, I use mine at home most of the time, and it's on my back patio on a small table. But all of you know, I carry it every time I go camping, which is pretty regular. So, just makes it nice when you got a handle on the wheels on it to pull it around. Look, I've actually got the book. Look at it, see how this thing actually goes together. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm standing over here next to this other smoker, and man, I can smell still got the good in it. Even though it don't work, it's got all that seasoning in there from all the years of using it. It smells like a smokehouse out here. Well, I don't know what you guys use to fix something like this, but I'll tell you what I'm going to use. This is aluminum tape, same thing heating and air refrigeration guys use. And this is what I'm going to fix this hole right here with. My dad and my brother ran a heating and air company since I was a kid. My brother come along later after he got old enough to start working with Dad, but Dad's been doing it since I was a kid. My dad passed away about 4.5 years ago now. Learned a lot from him, but I'll tell you what, this stuff right here has got a lot of uses. And for the ones of you might think that it gets too hot here, it actually, you can put an ice cube right here when this thing's running, and it will take a while to melt. So it just does not get that hot right here. Very well insulated in them. And all I'm doing is splitting that just a little bit and putting it around it, and then making it nice and tight. So moisture is what everybody was talking about. And I say everybody, it was just a couple of people was complaining about it. And you guys know how that is. People can complain about anything. So now the one I'm not going to be able to do anything about is this one right here. But again, just I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. This one right here was the one that actually was a straight shot up from the back. So I think that's the one probably where they were getting their moisture. So this is the control for the top of it. Let's see if they got any special instructions for the top of this. And they don't. Just put it in there and put 2 screws on it. Now this is keyed. It will only go one way. Do not try to force it. It just slides in and clicks. So don't try to force that. We were talking about the size of them earlier, and you can see the difference in the actual physical size now. So this one will take quite a bit more items you can put in it. Like I forget what it said, but it's a lot. It was like 8 Boston butts and 4 briskets, and 8 chickens, and I forget how much, but it was a lot. It holds a lot. That one will only hold 4 ribs in it. This one will hold 8. And apparently everybody likes ribs when I make ribs, so I'm sure this thing's going to see a whole lot of ribs in its future. All right, this pan just goes on the back, but for right now I'm not going to put it on because when you go to roll it and stuff, it actually kind of gets in the way. Hey, when you use these, after every use, while it's still warm, not while it's hot, but while it's still warm, pour this thing out into something and clean it out real good. because once you let this sit for a little while, it will actually start rusting and decaying, and it won't last long. The one I had on the back of this one, man, I've had to patch it so many times, and it's because I didn't clean it good. So this one will always have, it'll have a good life. I'm gonna clean this one all the time. All right, so that's the majority of putting this together. The rest of the screws and everything I got is for putting the leg system on this. And I'm not gonna bore you with doing a leg system. However, I am gonna finish the legs on it and then put it on, and I'll bring you guys back, show you what it actually looks like finished. But man, I think I'm gonna love this thing. That's quite a bit bigger, but it's still not too big or bulky to haul in the back of my truck or under the underbelly of a Class A. This is still way doable. So, like I said, I hated when this one gave up, but sure, I'm looking forward to using this one. And it is exactly the same controller as the last one. It's been upgraded a little bit, or updated. In fact, you got up and down arrows and stuff on here where the other one didn't. Said up and down, but I guess it's dumbing it down for people like me. It's got a little stopwatch on it for the timer and a little thermometer for the temperature. So all these over here actually said what it was. I actually prefer this. So anyway. All right, let me get the legs on it, and then I'll bring you guys back and let you see it. Okay, here it is. All right, this is the 40-inch, and as you can see, I'm 6'1", and it comes up to about the bottom of my chest plate. So that's, I may not need a tabletop anymore to put this on. This one was always too low, and so I had to sit it up, and it actually stood up about this high on a table. But I'm thinking this one I may not have to. One thing I did notice though, after I got it put together, I was looking for the temperature probe that plugs into the meat that you have in there. This model does not have that. It has a sensor inside that tells what the temperature in the cabinet is, but it does not have a probe for the meat. Now, for me, that's not a deal breaker for me. I don't use that anyway because they're not very accurate. And I'm not knocking on any smokers, they're just typically not that accurate. So I use an aftermarket, and it has 4 leads on it, and you can actually stick it into 4 different pieces of meat, because sometimes you may be cooking different sizes, like butts come in various ranges of weights. You may have one that's 5 pounds, you may have one that's 10 pounds. Well, the internal temp is not always going to finish out the same, especially with that big a variation. So I always use an external type probe. Now the one I have is a Weber. Again, it's not sponsored, but the Weber that I have is a 4-lead, and it's magnet, just sticks right to the side of the cabinet, or you put it on the top. This one I'll have a hard time seeing it on top because it's angled, the control is, so I'll just stick it on the side of it. But it's also Bluetooth, so I can see it from my phone, and that is how I operate with it. I rarely look at it on the readout. I look at it on my phone. So anyway, I was going to show you the difference, the finished difference. So this is 4 racks, and this is 4 racks, but you can see there's a huge difference there. Now, I'm going to miss all this that I've worked 10 years to produce, because man, it still smells amazing when you open this door. This one I got to do a burn-in on it, so I'll have to let it run a few hours and let it burn all the chemicals and stuff off, but it's just really nice. It's got the big drippings and water pan, and then it's got a pan at the bottom down here that catches anything else and sends them out the back to the little tray I was showing you. I have put it on. These are just kind of like you guys remember the old Ronco commercials, just set it and forget it? Well, that's what these are. You just set them and forget them, really. And then on the side over here to put your chips and stuff in, you just put your wood chips or pellets, whatever you want to use. I don't use pellets. Wood chips work better, but you can use pellets. Then you just put it in, you spin it around, it dumps it in the pan there, and it starts smoking. You regulate the smoke by the top up here. So again, super easy. Loved this one, hated it went out. If it wasn't for the fact that the drip pan on the back of it has just had it, and also the pan on the inside that catches the wood chips and you put them in, it was about gone. there's several things on here that it was just about gone. I just kept having to repair it, so it's time. So anyway, the ones of you that go camping with us, or you find us out camping somewhere, it's coming to a campground near you. So see what we're cooking whenever you see us. For the ones of you that meet up with us a couple of times a year, you know what the game is. Bring what you want to cook, we'll cook it. Now, you also understand that I'm going to cut some off of it to eat, so just know that up front. There's a price for using the smoker. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, this is not sponsored. We are just so happy with the first Masterbuilt we got that we looked at all the other ones, and I just kept coming back to this one. And like I said, it had the one bad review. It was multiple reviews, on like 4 or 5 people. But it was just the one deal, and you saw how I fixed it on top. So if you buy one of these, just go down to your local hardware store and get you some of the aluminum tape. Just put the aluminum tape around it. Like I said, you can put an ice cube on top of this one. I've actually put a cold glass of tea on this one before and forgot it, and come back an hour later, still had ice in it. They just don't get that hot. The deal is the moisture they were talking about. When you heat it, they were getting a little moisture and it was coming up in the controls. So that'll stop that. So that ain't gonna be a big deal. So, well, that's about all I got to say about it. I've said enough, I think. Oh, the legs, put your legs on and just hand tighten everything. Don't start cranking down on it until you set it back up right like this, because you want it to be level, not moving. You can see this one's, it's steady. It's not like the tables at the restaurant where you got to put a match cover under it or fold up napkins and stick under it. It's not like that. So what you want to do is get it all together, hand tight, set it up, and make sure you got it firmly planted. And then lay down the floor like I did and just tighten everything up, and now it's just solid as it can be. So now you're ready to roll off, you can see it's level. So that's how to level one and do it right, because if you start trying to tighten it all up, you can set it up, it's going to be out of level, I guarantee you. You're going to be looking like the restaurant, somebody sticking something under the legs. Just a little pro tip there. All right, we're out of here. Next week, we're going to be doing part 2 of our series. Kathy got sick again this week. You guys know how it is. If you watch us regularly, you know Kathy has some health issues. And she was doing really good last week, and we got the part 1 done. We did the live Sunday night with Bill and Deb at Our Right Tiny House. If you haven't seen that, go over to their channel and watch it. It was a little over an hour. We had a good time. But she had a couple days this week. She did not feel good. Also had a couple doctor's appointments, so we just didn't get a chance to do part 2. But look for part 2 next week. She's feeling better today. She actually wanted to come record that part today, and I said, no, we'll go ahead and do the smoker. We've actually going to say this for after the 3-part series. I told her I'd just go ahead and do the smoker and we put this out, and you guys would understand. So hope you do, and look for part 2 next week. All right, till next time. See you guys later. Bye now.